We've done well as being a team. We're more like a family this year. We don't argue. We get along. We've been together for 3 years now. We have a good group of seniors that lead our team.
When you look at this team offensively, what is it that's allowed you guys to kind of hit the ground running? I mean, you guys have a lot of experience with each other. How has that played itself out on Friday nights?
I think everybody's scared that we're just going to go to the air. So they're trying to get more people out, guarding receivers and stuff, which opens it up for me in the run.
When you look at what Homestead does, especially defensively, what are you guys working on this week to counter their strengths, and what do you have to do to be successful on Friday night against them?
We're going to have to be balanced. We're going to have to be able to pass and run to beat Homestead. Because if we can't pass, then they're going to load the box and take us out on the run. If we can't run, then they're going to lock up our receivers on double teams.
You know, when you look at the SAC standings, these are two of the only three teams that are left undefeated. So this is a big game as far as who's going to win the victory bell at the season end, even though it's just week 3. How do you approach a game of this magnitude early in the season, and how do you handle kind of the pressure or the spotlight that comes with, it's going to be the highlight zone game of the week. It's kind of the game everybody in the area is looking forward to.
Yes, sir. We failed to mess up the three-peat in state, so we want to mess up the three-peat for the SAC. We want to take them out of the competition and win this bell this year.
For you guys, what are you most looking forward to about Friday's matchup?
We're most looking forward for the competition. If we beat Homestead, we can't hear that. Oh, we can't play against big schools. Oh, we can't do it. We can only play against 2A schools. We beat Homestead. We could compete. We're the team that could compete this year.
Final question, just what do you expect the atmosphere to be like on Friday? And I know it's kind of a budding rivalry. They said they played you guys in 7-on-7 this past summer, and they were excited to get a chance to play you guys. I imagine the same is true for you.
I don't think it's going to be as big of a Carroll game, but I think it's going to be a good atmosphere. We haven't beat them at their home field ever, so we're trying to change that up and win this weekend.
Good deal. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, thank you.
What do you take away from week 1 and week 2 that you can kind of roll over and use here in week 3 when the stakes get ratcheted up even more?
Our Friday night performance is a direct reflection of how our week of practice goes. I think week 1 against Carroll, we had one of our better weeks that we've had in years. And we played a really solid ball game in all aspects, minus the opening kickoff. Last week was a grinder, and it was a tough week of practice. I mean, we all dealt with the heat. The heat did beat our kids a few times. I thought we came out sluggish. We had a sluggish pregame, and we were able to overcome that by battling through some really silly mistakes offensively. And then we kind of let our guard down on 3rd and long in the second half defensively. So we weren't sharp last week, and I think that's a direct reflection of our week of practice. Kids have been dialed in. They've been focused up this week and through a couple days. And here at the beginning of practice, I like where we're at right now.
When you look at the film and look at Homestead's numbers, the 59 points obviously jump out at you. What do you guys need to do well defensively to slow down the team to put up almost 60 points last week?
We have to tackle better. I thought our tackling performance week 1 against Jeff Becker and those athletes out there it was pretty good, especially for a week 1. Last week we had a tough time bringing Nelson down in particular. We've got to when we get guys on the football, we got to finish, and that's been a point of emphasis this week. You can't let a team like Homestead with their weapons, their offensive line play is spectacular. They got a tough running back. They got a Nick Anderson who's just, he's a special athlete. If you don't tackle against a team like this, then it can be a long night defensively. So we got to zero in on that. Keep getting 11 guys to the football. I shouldn't say keep, but we need to get 11 guys to the football. Our team pursuit on defense has to be much better than what it was a week ago. I feel like if we can get back to where we're at defensively week 1, we'll give ourselves a chance.
Offensively, you put up 38 against a solid Carroll team and then 47 against Wayne. I know Aiden Dennis is going to be out for quite some time with the wrist injury, but what are you guys doing well offensively, and what are some of the keys to keeping that up against Homestead on Friday night?
We got a nice balance between run and pass. Carson has battled through some mental mistakes. The offensive line they've gotten off the football. We're really happy with how they're getting off the football, but we had some mental mistakes last Friday. We do have obviously a plethora of weapons that can do something with the ball when it's in their hands. I feel like the offense, in terms of schematically, kids know where they're supposed to be on the field, where they're supposed to end up at the end of the play. Feel like we're on point there, but we got to clean a lot of our mistakes up. If we can anticipate putting some points up against a very stingy Homestead defense.
The final question for me, you take a look at the SAC standings. I mean, through 2 weeks, there's only 3 teams left still undefeated in this conference, and 2 of them are you and Homestead. So knowing that this is a game that, one of the long-term goals I imagine is to bring the SAC victory belt back to Bishop Luers, knowing that this is a game that could very well impact that here in week 3, how do you guys approach kind of the magnitude, the spotlight, or the overall hype of a game like this, and how do your guys feel like they're answering it in practice leading up to this game?
For our kids, it's really no different than what it was week 1. Heading into a brand new stadium, anticipated sellout crowd. I don't know how many were out there that night, but 5,000 plus, I imagine. With all the expectations of this program and this particular team really growing over the weeks, it's about what we've talked about all summer: being humble, being focused on a daily basis, and taking care of what we can take care of, and that's the next play and our effort on the next play. And if we can continue to do that on the football field here, on the practice field today and tomorrow, we'll give ourselves a good chance Friday night to overcome those, those jitters, those butterflies.
Anything else you'd like to add?
I don't think so. Go Knights.
We found out that we're a very good football team when we come out and play how we know we play. When we don't play down to our opponent's level, we come out how we practice. We're hard to stop. Stopping the run, we just got to keep working on that. As soon as you do that, we'll be even better.
Yeah, obviously when you scout Homestead, 59 points jumps out at you from last week. What are some of the things that you guys need to do well to contain their offense this week and have the type of defensive performance against a good offense that you want to have?
I would say stopping the run first, and then we could worry about their passing game. I'm very comfortable in our secondary to make plays and shut down the receivers. We just need to stop the run and not really get nervous. We've been here before.
As far as this team goes, you look at the SAC standings, and these are 2 of the only 3 teams left still undefeated after 2 weeks of football in the SAC. So if one of the goals is to win an SAC championship, this is a big game, even though it's still early in the year. How do you guys approach a big game like this, and what's kind of the key to making sure that you're ready for the spotlight, the hype, all that comes with a big game like this?
I would say not to get too nervous. We know it's a big game ahead of us. We're just going to go in there, play how we play, and just do what we do.
Could this be a statement game for Bishop Luers when you take a look at, obviously there's a size disparity of 2A versus 6A. Do you think this could be a kind of a statement game after obviously having beaten a 6A school in Carroll in week 1?
Definitely. We could show everybody that we are able to compete with bigger schools. We have just as much talent as they do, and this is just really getting us ready for the playoff run.
Final question, what are you most looking forward to about Friday night? It's going to be the highlight zone game of the week. A lot of people are going to have eyeballs on this game. What are you most looking forward to about the Friday night experience?
I'm looking forward to just prove ourselves. We know they've beaten us 2 times in a row. We're not going to make it 3. We're ready to come out and compete and show them why we deserve to be here.
Perfect, my man. Anything else you'd like to add?
Go Knights.